Welcome, everybody. It is Captain Matt, um, Brock, Kings of the City. Yeah, this is from yesterday. I didn't make it yesterday. I was, as you can see, the winterization juice is out. I was cleaning and buffing the boat, and I ended up just waxing it as well because I had it home. I had all the gear cleaned out. It was a nice day. We're traveling in the next couple of weekends, and so I put in an 8 hour day of just cleaning, emptying, doing all the stuff. Filled it up and treated the fuel, and put it um, put it back in the storage facility uh, last night late. Got home at like 10 o'clock. So it was a project that I just kept going on and just kept getting it knocked out. So so that so I didn't leave it like I did last year, where I'm winterizing it. The day before we leave for Thanksgiving, and it's freezing cold. It took me a half hour to get the thing to warm up to open the thermostat, and I didn't want to do that again. So I apologize about missing you yesterday. You can see I'm not on the treadmill today either. That's because I've got to get get on the road to go to my daughter's basketball tournament, which is about a couple hours away. So that's coming up. Eddie, welcome. If you're new, just like Eddie did, just throw your comment in the chat. It'll pop up on my screen here. I'll answer your question, and I will give you my best answer, and may have some more questions for you. So Eddie's is pretty simple. I think buying a 2023 leftover boat is a way to get a great value. You've got a new boat, full warranty. The one thing you'll have to watch out for if you're financing, and I should have my shirt on, if you're financing, go to boatloanmatch.com. I'll match you with the best lender. But something to think about in financing is they may consider that 23 a used boat, because a new boat is typically, they'll go back 2 model years. Okay, so cash. So then you don't need to worry about that. If you were financing, that's something for others that may watch this to consider, is you'll want to look to see how does it adjust your financing. But if you're cash, I think it's a great opportunity to go in there. I wouldn't tell them you're paying cash right off the bat, Eddie. I would just say, hey, I'm looking to buy it. Let them think, or maybe even you can if you want to. Let the dealer count on that finance revenue that they may make from the loan, and they give you a little bit better discount. Then you can pull out the cash. I decided to go cash and do that at the last minute. Or what some of my clients have done is they've just financed with the dealer and then paid it off a month or two later. That's another way to go, however you want to play it. But hold that back for a while you're negotiating, because that can play into your advantage. Now, the other thing, Eddie, to consider is, all right, this boat has been sitting around for 2, maybe 3 years. It's maybe gone to a couple boat show. It's had some people that have been on it. Maybe it's got some hours on it. So know that there might be a ding. There might be a little nick here. There might be an imperfection. That's part of the discount that you're getting. But the other thing is, I don't know what type of boat. You can leave that in the comments. But no walking Kings of the City. This is I gotta get the van loaded up, and we got to head on the road when my kids get home from school here in about half hour, 45 minutes. So no walking today. But yeah. So anyway, the part about the boat sitting around is, one thing that can happen is maybe a filler cushion gets lost. Maybe some canvas gets lost. Some of that can happen, like on a Scout. So if you're looking at a Scout center console, then maybe there's some electronics, or maybe there's some. Just make sure that before you take delivery, before you stroke the check or sign the paperwork, just make sure that everything's there that you would expect to be there with the boot for the Bimini. If it's got a Bimini, if it's got a T-top, make sure that, all the electronics are there that are supposed to be, all of the wiring is there that's supposed to be, just those details. Because what can happen is, oh, we need this for this other boat, and they might go and they might steal it off that boat, or it just gets misplaced in the dealership, or it gets misplaced when they went to the boat show, or they did a demo, and all that kind of stuff can happen on a boat that's been around for a couple of years. And then, like I talk about in all of my videos, if it's the right boat, kind of know where you want to be and make an aggressive offer. I talk about it in my Magic Money Saving program. You're in the driver's seat. Now, if you really want the boat, also be realistic. They're not gonna go 10% under what they paid. Tires on the trailer. So the tires are 2 years older. Was it sitting outside? Were they getting beat by the sun? Are they flat? Did it just sit in that spot? Depending on the dealer and how much they shuffle things. Those are the types of things that you just want to double check, because the lack of use, not a huge deal because they probably put it away properly, but little things like that can come up, and just do your inspection and use that to your advantage. Man, those tires are 2 years old. Can you put a new set on, or give me an additional discount? Be realistic of what they're going to expect, but be aggressive on the offer, because I don't know where you're located, but you're probably not going to put the boat in the water tomorrow and go out. You're not going to get a lot of use this season. So if you buy it now, or if you buy it in February, it probably doesn't matter to you. And so I was just looking at this. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Trends. Yeah, and if they're a great dealer, there's also I've got this firm belief that if you've got a good dealer, you want to maintain a good relationship. So beating an extra $500 out of them on this boat, it may be $2,000 worth of pain in the ass for you in the future, because now they're like, Eddie was a jerk, and man, we didn't make any money on that boat, and get this ABC customer ahead of Eddie. So you want to balance that. And I can tell you, I started selling boats in 2009, right? So we had the housing crisis, 2007, 2008, 2007, they were building the crap out of boats because 2006 was a great year. 2007, they built a ton of boats. 2008, they slashed production. 2009, they slashed production, just like where we're at. 22, they sold a ton of boats. 23, it started going down. They slashed a little bit. 24, they slashed again in 25. And what happened was we sold a boat to a guy, and he was a CPA. He worked me over like crazy. We ended up selling the boat at like a 6% loss, that was the biggest discount that I'd ever given, and probably still to this day I've ever given. But he sort of went in my general manager's mind, he went in the non-VIP category. It didn't sit well with me. We made the choice to sell the boat. We agreed to that price, which means we need to treat him as a regular customer. But that wasn't the psychology that was at work at the management level, right? And as far as depreciation goes, yeah, you could buy a used 23 for probably cheaper, but it's going to have 100, maybe 150 hours on it. It's going to have some usage dings and dents and things, and you're not going to have the warranty. And I think going in with that warranty, ask them to throw in the extended warranty. I would imagine if Yamaha doesn't, they've got an extended warranty that the dealer can give you that's going to be very, very discounted. If it's not already on that piece of inventory, which Yamaha is in the same position as boat manufacturers, right? They need more boats to sell so they can produce more motors. They've got the repower market, but they still want to put more motors on transoms, which is where they make most of their money. So ask in the negotiation, hey, man, this is a essentially a 3-year-old boat because the 26s are coming out. Can you throw in an extended warranty coverage so I'm covered for 3-year standard, an additional 3 years or 4 years, and 3+3. So maybe they're already offering that on there, but if you can get that thrown in, now you've got a boat that if you do go to sell it in the next 5 to 6 years, you've got warranty, which makes your boat stand out and sell at a premium, assuming you're going to take care of it all the right way and all that kind of stuff. That I'm not concerned about the depreciation, especially if you can get that warranty, because it'll help down the line. So I think it's a great I think there's a tremendous opportunity for people that want the full warranty, but they want to save some money, which who doesn't? But I think there's a tremendous opportunity to buy 23s and 24s, and absolutely would. Boats for sale. So this is Google Trends. I've shown this on some of my market breakdowns, which I'm in the process of doing right now. But you can see the last 5 years. So this was the November 2020. Okay. So we know we had the big spike, 21, 22, 23. It's coming down. Look where we're at in 25, July of 25. We run this over, we're essentially hitting the October level of interest. Now this is the other how highs are the highs and how lows are the lows. If you look, and this is a relative scale, so it's not a 26 doesn't equate to a number. It's just relative to others. In the slow time, 26, 27, 28, November, December, 18, 19, 20 on the low side, 16, 17, 18, 19, 14, 12, 13, and we're sitting at 15 right now. So the level of interest in boating, you're welcome, Eddie. Glad I could be helpful, and I would love to see pictures of that Scout. I sold Scout for a number of years at my location. I love the 210 XSF back in like the 2010-11 timeframe. That was a perfect lake boat, but I still go to the coast every now and again for my market. I like that one. But anyway, you're seeing the downward trend for the industry, and you're seeing the seasonal trend. And so the peak wasn't so peaky in the summertime. We only got up to 44 was the high back in June, July. And we're down to 15, and that's still in October. So we can expect it to go down another couple of points, maybe hitting down into the 10. Rick, how are you? Raleigh, good to have another Carolinian here. I'm just outside of Charlotte. Good to have you. If you got questions, throw it in the chat. And but yeah, this trend is interesting. But then you also have the trend of the cycle of the industry. So we have that up, down, up, down, up, down. You can see it a little bit there, coming back up. Then we had obviously the peak of 2020. And the other thing I like to do is, okay, where are we at relative? So we're August, July, we were at a 33 in 25. And let's see, I kind of know, there we go. 08, we were at a 31. So 08 was the down for that time period. We had, like I just said, the 07s, they built a ton of 07s because the market was going strong. It always takes them a year or two for them to figure out that they got to cut production and not overflood the market. The mortgage meltdown hit in 07. I was in the unfortunate position of owning a mortgage company during that time. And then that hit, got into selling boats right about in this downtime here. So you're at 32 was the peak. and 33 is where we're at. So that's kind of a relative number of searches. I think more people are probably searching online for boats for sale because there's more information, there's more inventory. So this, even though it's slightly higher, I would say because of the nature of people searching, that there's more people in general using the internet for searches like that. And so that number is probably even a little bit worse. And then it got down to 15. Yeah, 15 was in December, and we are at 16 right now. 12 right now. So yeah, Eddie, you're in the driver's seat. Anybody that's looking to buy a new piece of inventory, you're in the driver's seat. But no, even at this lowest level in 2008, we still sold 200,000 boats as an industry. So even though we're at this low level, the 2025 numbers are going to still come in at 190,000 new boats sold. Maybe 200. If you count PWCs, probably over 200. So be realistic also. Be aggressive. You're in the driver's seat, but they don't have to sell because there are, there's that number is not zero. That number gets to zero, we're all in trouble, but there's always buyers out there. But you are in the driver's seat. I always try to strike that balance. And then what Eddie was saying, willing to pay more to maintain a good relationship. I had a guy I was working with that I've got my one-on-one consulting where for $200-300 you can hire me and I'll help you through the process. It's usually for newer boaters that they're just nervous, right? They just don't want to make an expensive mistake. They're excited about boating, but they just want an advocate on their side because they're not sure who to trust, don't know enough to know when somebody's pulling the wool over their eyes. And he said, I found this boat. It's $4,000 less, but it's 4 hours away. My local dealer has the boat, but they're not willing to discount it. I was like, okay, here's the thing is if you buy that boat for $4,000 less, this dealer, your local dealer, is not going to service you at all. You may think they should because they want to support the brand, but the reality is they don't. I said, so you need to figure out what's that. How much would you pay $1,000 more to not have to travel 4 hours for warranty and service work? And so it was like, what's that dollar amount for him? The boats he was looking at, we kind of figured out it's about 1,000. I would pay 1,000 more for the same exact boat because I would have my local dealer relationship. And so that's what he did. He went to the local dealer and said, listen, same boat here, $4,000 difference. I get it. You need to make money. I want a local dealer, but that's too much. But I am willing to pay $1,000 extra to do business with you locally here. Do we have a deal? And I don't know if that's panned out for him yet. We just talked. It was a week ago. So sometimes those conversations can take a while. And sometimes they just get so excited that they move on to the boat. And I get a picture of the boat and when they take delivery. So, but anyway, those are all things to think about and get a great deal. But that local relationship is valuable. So, what other questions do you guys have? Because, like I said, I still need to pack. I got my suitcase partially packed. But throw any of your comments in and be happy to answer it. Thank you for whoever gave me the heart, Robert Dussault. I appreciate that. Anything, if you guys like, share, watch my videos all the way to the end, all of that stuff is super helpful. Let the algorithm know that that what we talk about is of interest to you. Best play. What's your old boat, Eddie? It's Boat Trader. I think, unfortunately, it's still probably the best place, but it's getting more and more expensive. If it's under 25,000, Facebook Marketplace is a really good option. Skeeter Bass Boat. You should talk to Brock. I don't know if Brock's still on here, but no, Brock was looking for a bass boat. And I think did he have a Skeeter? Brock, I think that might have been from yesterday, but yeah. So I would go Facebook Marketplace. Number one, it's free, it's easy, and there are people looking. Depending on the age and the price of the boat, when you're under 20,000, 25,000, Craigslist is still a reasonable place. Just know you're going to get scammers that try to get you to send them money or to send their bank information. Just be aware of, if it looks sketchy, it's sketchy, even on Facebook Marketplace. But there's also real buyers out there. So, it's worth it. And then dealer says, yeah, that's 10% is the normal and customary brokerage fee for a dealer selling it. All you do, drop the boat off. They'll probably inspect it, go through it, say we need a detail. We got to do the oil change, gear lube, impeller, whatever needs to be done. But they'll handle the pictures, the video, the sales calls, the putting it up everywhere, and you just pay the 10% of the final sales price. And that's a industry standard. Some will have a minimum, $3,000 minimum or 10% of the sales price. So if you want easy hands off, but to maximize the money in your pocket, brokerage is the way to go. If you just want easy and you don't care, trade. If you just want the most money in your pocket, but the most hassle, then sell it on your own. But I think brokerage is a great happy medium for you. So, but that's where I would go. I would go Facebook Marketplace, 100%. Maybe Boat Trader if you're like, I'm really going to do this myself and invest the $100 a month to do that. And if you're in the position to hold the boat and sell it come springtime, even though it's gonna be 6 months older, because there's so many more people in the marketplace, and you start selling it in this March, April timeframe where it's starting to, where the number of people in the market's going up dramatically. That is, to me, that's the right time to sell it versus trying to sell it now. Again, if you can do it, if you can buy both and got a place to store it, find running insurance, that kind of thing. Yeah. Wait till spring, all because of these, all because of those markers. So, all right. Well, guys, I appreciate it. I'm going to cut it short there, but I did want to at least jump on today since I missed yesterday and I missed Wednesday because of meetings. Eddie, you're very welcome. Glad I could help. Let me know how it works out. Jump on the live in the future. Let us know how it goes. And I appreciate everybody. Thanks for the support. Thanks for joining. We will be back on Monday, and hopefully we'll have won the tournament. We'll see. Take care, everybody.